Hey there, happy day 1109 of What Shipped to Now. Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here, documenting my journey as I transition from the brick and mortar world to the online world of business. It's been, 3+ years now since I got divorced, left all of my real world brick and mortar businesses behind, and corporate America much sooner than that, but at least 27 different businesses and industries I have worked in as an employee or as a business owner over the last 47 years. I hate to say 47 years because it ages me, but since I was 13, I've had a business. I've always had some kind of a business or something going on the side, as well as working and, through high school, through college, and through in corporate America following that for over a quarter century in some of the coolest different businesses and industries on the planet. One of the biggest companies in the world, one of the biggest bakeries in the world. So I've had one of the biggest media companies in the world. So I've had some interesting and profound experiences that have shaped who I am and what I'm here to do. But after my divorce, I had the opportunity to decide, well, what I want to do. What do I want to go back to corporate America? Yeah, that was a big fat no. Do I want to stay in real estate? Do I want to continue manufacturing? And again, I said no. I wanted to explore something I'd always been curious about, and that was the internet, the World Wide Web, the online world. I wanted to learn about that. So in 2017, I jumped in with both feet and spent the vast majority of that first year learning, which got me into one of those learning loops. I'd never heard of learning loops until I was online, because I could spend a lot of time and energy following different rabbit holes and going down different trails and different avenues in learning more. The thing about the online world is there's too much to ever learn. We're living in an information age, unlike the industrial age and I kind of grew up in the age of manufacturing, and was and is still one of my first loves. I love, and ever since I was a kid, I've loved to know how things work, how they were made, how they were put together. My mom used to get mad because when I was a little girl, every clock in the house, for some reason I was fascinated by clocks, I would take them all apart. I would never put them back together, which was what she was upset about. But I loved to take things apart around the house just to see how it worked. And then I leave the pieces everywhere, which is something I've learned to not do anymore. But that was my first taste of my love of manufacturing and knowing how things work and processes and systems and putting things together to make them more efficient and more effective. So I decided I would hop on the online world and I would learn and figure that out as well. And my original objective was to duplicate my offline success online. I haven't done that yet. I have not come even close to having financial or much more. In some ways, I've gone further than I did in the offline world, and in other ways I haven't. Financially, I have not made anywhere near the same amount of money online as I have offline. Now, I made a whole lot of money offline, and so that's a big goal, bigger than most people would ever set for themselves, but that still remains my long-term objective and goal. But in the interim, how I get there is very different than how I got there in the offline world. And how you do things in the online world is actually different than you do in the offline world. Some things are much more important online than they were offline. Offline marketing, although people would argue that it was just as important, to me in manufacturing and in my career, marketing was far less important than it is online. Online, marketing is like 20%, marketing and sales is like 90% of what you do. Offline, it's like maybe 10% of what you do. And so that is a huge change and a huge jump for me. So what am I doing right now? What am I doing now? Every day I like to just fill in with what I'm doing, what I'm working on. Right now I'm working on challenges. Challenges since I've done challenges for decades, but since the pandemic hit, it has become a primary focus for me. And I do something called, it's a 30+ day get up and go challenge. I do it for free. I do it again, and it's changed slightly. This is actually the 6th time we're going through it in the month of February, a little bit into March, and it changes and morphs and becomes slightly different, and I think slightly better every time I do it. And guess what? It's not a sales challenge. It's not a marketing challenge or a sales challenge. It's a challenge to help me get up and go and keep moving during chaotic, crazy times, and help the people that go through it with me to, in and on a subconscious level, create a framework. I call it the soap framework, which I did it for years, but it didn't have a name. But last year I started calling it the soap framework, mainly because I was washing my hands so many times, and so was everyone else. In manufacturing, I was in food manufacturing, I was washing my hands like 20, 30 times a day because it was inherent in the business. But everybody else wasn't. Only people pretty much in the medical or the food industry. Well, with the pandemic, everybody was in the same boat in terms of the importance of soap and sanitation and washing our hands and being careful so that we wouldn't get the pandemic. We wouldn't get COVID-19. And that's why soap ended up being what I selected for my framework. It just happens to fit perfectly the framework that we install in our subconscious that guarantees we have better results after we faced any challenge or change than before we experienced that. And we're going through that. Today was day 10, and we were talking about a tool called Flip Switch. I share a tool every day. I started doing that about the fourth. I was sharing a few tools along the way, but by about the fourth challenge, I was like, oh my gosh, I brainstormed out a list of the tools that I've used during my life, and not even all of them. I didn't really pick in any of the manufacturing or engineering or high-tech tools. It was just tools, and I had like 7 or 8 pages that I brainstormed out that were tools and techniques and strategies I'd learned over the course of my career, over the course of my studying in life. I mean, I am an avid reader. My parents, one of the things I'm so grateful that they taught me was to always be an avid reader. Now, I am legally blind, so reading for me is a bigger challenge than it is for most people. But did I throw in the towel and say, I'm not going to ever read again? I'm not going to figure out how to keep growing and continuously improving because I can't see? No, I'm going to figure it out. I haven't had to go and learn Braille yet, and I'm hoping I don't have to because there's so many great auditory and reading devices right now, and unless I lose my hearing, which I'm not planning on, I find ways to get the information that I want to continue to consume into me. It's when my eyes look wonky sometimes. I apologize, but I don't apologize. It's who I am. It's, I have wonky eyes. I've had wonky eyes since my 20s. I think the first time I started to have, I had eye problems my whole life. What am I talking about? I didn't know that I couldn't see, and I didn't see what everybody else saw till I was about 11, and they're like, oh my God, the girl can't see unless she's in the front row, and then she can't even see. So I got my eyes checked, and it turns out that I needed really thick glasses when I was 11, but I just thought that what I saw was what everyone else saw. Turns out it wasn't, and that there were leaves on trees, and there were birds and things in the sky once I got glasses and contacts and things. And then I had some eye challenge, and over the years I had lots of eye challenges, but lost vision in my left eye when I was, I think, in my mid-20s. I'd had something called iritis and uveitis in my eyes, and basically I describe it as it's inflammation in your eye. So I say it's like arthritis in your eyes. So I had that, and all the cortisone treatments and shots and things over the years caused me to lose the vision in my left eye. And then following my sudden cardiac arrest in 2010, in 2011, my right eye started to take that same path. It had uveitis and iritis sometimes. I had it in both my eyes, but it was my left eye that got the most damage. And then my right eye started to deteriorate in 2011. And I think by 2014, it was to the point where I really couldn't see. And I think I quit driving in, I stopped driving because I didn't think it was safe. Nobody ever told me I had to stop driving. I stopped driving 2017, probably 2017, and have been legally blind for a couple of years. So that's just my road. That's my experience to have here on planet Earth. Does it mean I curled up and died in a little ball and didn't do anything? No. So what do? I show up every day on video. I missed last 2019 Christmas Day. I missed because I had COVID-19. They didn't think we had COVID-19 back then, but I guarantee I had COVID-19. I had all the symptoms, and but they didn't know it was COVID-19 back then, even though it was 2019. We didn't think it was here in the United States. Well, now they've had studies, and they found out, oh yeah, it was probably here in September, October, November, December for sure of 2019. So a lot of us that were just sick as dogs and they didn't know what was wrong, or they were calling it a virus. Yeah, it was a virus, but it was the COVID-19 virus. So that's the one day that I've missed, and probably since 2018 when I started doing daily videos. And I challenged myself to do 365-day videos. So the first one was doing one thing every day that scares me, from a little journal book called Do One Thing Every Day That Scares You, because I had gotten it several years, probably in 2012, 2013, I had gotten it. I was involved in a network marketing business, network marketing business with some friends, and I was scared to do the stuff they wanted us to do. It was out of my comfort zone. It didn't feel like the right business model and approach to me. And so a friend of mine and I were scared to do it. So I got this book up at the cab and I said, well, let's just try and see if this helps us to stretch our comfort zone. So we're cool with doing the things that their system that they want us to follow for sharing the opportunity, sharing the business, sharing the products and services with people. And we didn't do it. She's probably still in the business, but I have long since not been in that business, probably since 2014, I think, 2015 maybe. But as I was going online, I thought, okay, I am not going on video. I'm not doing a live video. You know, you can't make me. There's no reason I have to. I can be successful online without doing any live videos ever. I'm not going to do it. And after about a year of people cajoling me and saying, you got to do this, you got to publish, you got to figure it out. And my vision was deteriorating, so I knew that, you know, writing a blog wasn't going to probably work for me. I could podcast, but I do podcasts. I take my live videos, strip the audio, and I put them out as a podcast. I've got over 4,000 episodes on my Pajama Grandma podcast because I've done live videos that I've taken the audio out of and made and put online for my podcast. After 4,000 episodes, I still don't have an intro. I still don't have an outro. I don't have a call to action in those, and it's just publishing, because that's what I like to do, is publish and share information and share the experiences I've had, the good, the bad, and the ugly. I mean, if I've screwed something up, I'm going to tell people so that they don't make that same mistake. If I've made a mistake, I don't want anybody else to have to figure it out the hard way. So that's part of why I do this segment. And since I couldn't blog, I had to learn to do live video. So I did. The first one was on that. The second one was a year of happy. The third one was a year of do one fun thing every day. That was last year. And this year is do one thing every day that centers you. So every day I do an activity that centers you. And today's was all about one profound interest, one profound thing, and that, you know, each of our lives we should have one profound thing that we're interested in, and then 1,000 little things that we're good at or we have a good level of interest in. And so today we're supposed to come up with what is the one profound thing that you are focused on and interested in. And I ask myself that question a lot because for most of my life, I've always done a lot of different things. You know, when I was running brick and mortar businesses, I had a lot of different businesses. Did the same thing online. When I came online, I was doing a lot of different things. I didn't focus in on one thing, one idea, one product, one service. And so I think I've spun my wheels, and I spun my wheels for several years. Now, last year, in the last year now, it's been all about challenges. How can I help people with challenges? Actually, it's been longer than that. It's been probably since 2018, pretty much all about challenges. How can I challenge myself to stay on track? How can I challenge myself to stay focused? How can I challenge myself to lower my blood pressure? Because as part of my sudden cardiac arrest, I have to take medications that a beta blocker, and then my blood pressure was climbing, and the doctor wanted me to go on blood pressure medicine. And I was like, yeah, I don't want to do that, because I, in my past experience, have had a lot of bad reactions, and I experienced a lot of the known effects, which they like to call side effects in the medical industry. I tend to have more side effects than I do benefits from the medications I'm on. So I didn't want to take another one. So I challenged myself. I did a 90-day challenge to reduce my blood pressure, and I brought people along with me on that journey. Whenever I do a challenge, I do my challenges a little differently. I always participate in them, so I'm not only leading them, but I'm actually doing them right alongside the participants. So I know what it feels like. I know if the exercise feels uncomfortable, or if it doesn't work, or if it's really just a waste of time, and then I eliminate that, and I don't do it again. I don't know, why do things that don't work or make you feel bad? I think, no, let's not do that. So one profound thing. I'm thinking about that today before I answer my question. What is my one profound thing? What is my one profound life thing, and then what is my one profound business thing. For me, and it's been for a lot of my life, it's being myself and being okay with being myself and giving other people permission to just be themselves as well. I think that I spent years and years looking for and searching for what is my purpose. You know, some people are born and they just have a natural affinity for science, math, music, art, whatever. And I always discovered that I was good at a lot of things, but I wasn't great at anything. I didn't think I was really awesome or great at anything. I was good at art in high school, but I didn't think I was awesome at it, and I didn't think I could make a living at it. So I wasn't going to go that route for my career and for college. I was good at math and science, and so I thought maybe about going to medical school, and I thought, man, I don't really want to be a doctor. I don't really like the idea of that. And, you know, I don't really want to deal with some of the yucky parts of that. So I said no to that. And I didn't want to go to school for 8 years back then, or more. And then I ended up going engineering because and engineering, marketing, and management, actually, because I had health challenges and ended up going to lots of colleges. So how we decide on things and how we find that one profound thing. And again, I don't think that we're only interested in one thing or focus on one thing, but I do understand the value of focus when you go online. And it's actually equally as powerful offline, but it's critical online. It's powerful offline to focus and do one thing. Like, for example, in manufacturing, I made handmade ravioli. Our manufacturing company made handmade ravioli, and then we added a few products. But for the most part, ravioli was our thing. Handmade ravioli was our thing. And we would play and tweak and do different things with fillings, but for the most part, our ravioli was actually the best in the world. I loved our ravioli. And our white sauce, definitely best in the world. Red sauce, people thought it was the best in the world. I don't know. I'm not a big red sauce person, but I liked it. And then the other things we made as well. We didn't make a ton of products because we focused in on, hey, we just make the best handmade Italian food possible. And so in the offline world, it was important. But in the online world, it's absolutely critical, because I found the more I diffuse my energy and do a bunch of different things, you know, and I've done a lot of different things online. I've done webinars, I've done coaching, I've done masterminds, I've done launches, I've done challenges, of course, I've done lead magnets, copywriting. I will say I've resisted chatbots and things like that, but I have a chatbot that I've had for like 3 years, and I don't know that I've ever set one up even. I think I've got one on one of my websites, but there again, I mean, I've got lots of websites, lots of groups, lots of pages, lots of different social media things and accounts, and it becomes too much, and if it's not focused all on the same topic. So I'm bringing it in the last year to focus on the same topic. And I'm in the midst of doing a rebrand. I need to rebrand from Pajama Grandma to just me, Sharon Horne-Ellstrom. The last couple of years at Why My Pajama Grandma podcast, I was going to Funnel Hacking Live, and I thought, okay, well, it's going to be 3,500 marketing experts there, people that are marketing online. How do I stand out? How do I be me but still stand out? And I was visiting with Jim Edwards, and you might not know who he is, big online, amazing person. One of the people I followed the most online, and even when I wasn't online, I did some work and participated in Jim's masterminds and coaching programs and things. And then he hooked up with Russell Brunson, which is how I found Russell Brunson in the first place. And then I became a certified partner for ClickFunnels and things like that. But I don't do that. I don't create and build funnels for people. I just do them for my own self and my own family businesses. Is why I became a certified partner, was so I could use the information and I needed a structured, formulated way of learning the information so that I would learn it and grasp it quickly. And I think it only took like 3 months to become a certified partner. And only because I would have done it faster, but only because they limited you to the amount of information you could get, and you had to turn in homework and get it graded and things, which I loved. I think it made it a very powerful certification program, and kind of shame on them for not having it anymore, because it added a level of expertise and professionalism that I think is lacking in the world. Anybody, anywhere can do anything these days, which they can, obviously. But I did that, and so I don't even know why I'm focusing, or why I got on that tangent. Anyway, so what am I doing now? Challenge. Day 10, Get Up and Go Challenge, was about changing your reaction. Yesterday we talked about your change reaction and how you automatically deal with changes and challenges. And then today we talked about and used a tool from Lynn Grabhorn, the flip switch tool, to change that reaction. How do you take the things that aren't working in the way that you're automatically dealing with change, and how can you look at them or see them or flip the switch on them to see them differently? So that was a good one. And then we talked about one profound thing. And Supersize Your Business today was, of course, one of my absolute positive favorites. It's the golden rule: do unto others as you would have them do unto you. And it's been around for thousands of years. Confucius, Jesus, it's 100 times it's mentioned, at least similar phrasing in the Bible. And we've all learned, you learn the golden rule in kindergarten, at least most of us do, and we learn it in our homes before kindergarten. Treat other people you want to be treated. Don't fight with your sisters, and don't pull your sister's hair if you don't want her to pull your hair. So those are the main things I'm working on right now. Brand new grandbaby, so that's super exciting, and things like that. If you have questions about, obviously, processes, systems, manufacturing, quality, sanitation, small business, big business, how to do things online, specific things online, ask away. One of my biggest frustrations going from the offline world to the online world was I was afraid to ask for help. Why? Because I didn't want to look stupid, which it's ridiculous, because whenever we're learning a new thing, we just have to ask questions so that we can get learn at a quicker pace. And so I've learned that, and part of it was I didn't have any one person that I felt comfortable just asking, well, what about this? What about that? How do you do that? Probably should have gotten a coach sooner in the process than I did, but lessons learned. We learn, I've had lots of coaches in my life, but when I'm ready to be coached, the right coach appears for me. And that's how it's played out in my life. So working on that. I'm like definitely off today. I don't think I got enough sleep. All right. So, I know. Ask. If you have a question, you don't have anyone else to ask, you can always ask me. I might not know the answer, but I guarantee I know somebody that can help you and get you moving in the right direction for you. And sometimes that's me. A lot of times it's not. A lot of times it's somebody with the absolute expertise that you need. And I love hooking people up and matching them up with that person. All right. Have an amazing day. Again, if I can help you in any way, ask. Otherwise, I'll be with you tomorrow. More short-winded than today. All right. Have an amazing day.